information. Everything's already set up, okay? The folks that are behind Beamz have really gone all in on this. So the networks are there. We've talked to the Ukrainian military folks and to the folks who are in charge of making sure that aid gets to the right hands. Liz Lamore, again, thanks for being with us. Maggie Fitt, Carol Ann, Pedro, thanks for being there. Carol Ann, you joined twice, or at least another person named Carol Ann. You can make comments down in the corner there. And if you are so inclined, and there's something that you'd like to say, some words of encouragement or something that you've heard that you think we need to know about, then let me know in the comments and I can bring you up and then we can talk together. Okay, that's one of the beauties of this technology. We're going to be joined. We do have a guest, a Ukrainian gentleman that I've never met, never talked to before. His name is Yuri, and he is from Ukraine. He's a photographer. And I think the world of photography and being a photographer is something that we need to talk about, and we will, because it's a very, very dangerous occupation. If you are an army and you're coming in someplace like the Russians are into Ukraine, they don't want you taking pictures of what they're doing. And one of the questions that I like to talk to Yuri about when he joins us is this whole thing that Tucker the Schmuck Carlson brought up. What an ass. What an absolute ass this guy is. Tucker Carlson tonight. What if these bodies of tortured dead civilians were staged? What if they're fake? What if the Ukrainian military killed them and then blamed Russia? I'm not saying any of this is true, which is one of his favorite lines. I'm not saying any of this is true. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying anything is true. I'm just asking questions. Why can't we ask these questions? There are a lot of other questions you could ask Tucker. I mean, truly. Okay, put on a blue shirt with some yellow on it. This is the best that I could do for my support of Ukraine on relatively short notice. I'll go to the store. I'll get on Amazon. I'll find some shirt that's more appropriate to wear to demonstrate my support for Ukraine. But what is your take on that? That's one of these lines that is being thrown out there. One of these angles and ways to position things that this is mostly staged. Is it possible? Well, yeah. I guess if I were in charge of trying to control a narrative and people were doing bad things to me, then I would do everything I possibly could to make them look as bad as possible. But if they're doing really, really bad things anyway, you don't have to try so hard. You really don't have to try so hard because they're giving it right there to you. Jasperab, thanks for joining the show here today. Again, you can donate up in the corner. It says pay host, or it has a dollar sign. There's a red button in the corner. And again, all the money that you donate for this program will go directly to aid for the Ukrainian people. It will be strollers. It will be emergency medicines. It'll be to help buy ambulances. Is that well English? I'm not exactly sure. The kind of equipment that people need right now on the ground. When you take a look at some of the video or the photography that is coming out of Ukraine, it's a rough scene. So there ain't much there. So pretty much anything that somebody could use is something that we're going to be raising money for. So please punch the button hard and punch the button often, and tell your friends about this show too. We're going to expand this to be more than just me standing here begging, or Greg just sitting in front of the camera and begging for you to help us out. When Greg gets to Poland, which is going to be this week, so next week he'll be doing his shows, the Stop Putin Now and Let's Build Some Bombs and Blow Things Up. Lynn Mark, thanks very much for joining the program here today. Again, if you've got comments, shoot me a little note there. And if you'd like to join in, I can either just address your comments or I can actually bring you up if you'd like to be a guest and talk. We can do it face to face. It's just a couple of clicks and doesn't cost you anything. Be absolutely free. And love to have you participate in the show. So Greg is going to, the folks behind Beamz thought, what can we do? What's the best way that we can make this happen? And the best thing to do is to be as close as possible, to be with the folks that are feeling it all, that are seeing it all. And we can get their reactions, and we can get reactions from people on the street. And here's a separate kind of thought. And I'll talk to Yuri about this. There's a new radio station that is helping Ukrainian refugees adapt in Prague. I thought this was really neat. It's an internet-based radio station. I'm starting to broadcast news and information and music tailored to the day-to-day concerns of the 300,000 already Ukrainian refugees who have arrived in the Czech Republic since the assault against Ukraine. So the 10 people there, the staff there who have fled to Ukraine, they're going to be working together to create programming so that the Ukrainians who are in the Czech Republic have a place to go. They have a community where the news is going to be tailored to them. And I thought that was really fascinating. My history is radio. Greg has talked about that. He used to work for Men's Health magazine, and he used to do hundreds and hundreds of radio interviews every month talking about articles in the magazine. And that's how I met Greg multiple years. I don't know how many years ago it was. It was maybe 20. I don't know. And since then, he and I have become fast friends. Elliot, thanks for joining us. Glenn Brend, Marcel Ad, thank you for being there. Deb Goods. I'm just making up these names because that's what the screen names are. So I'm sure there's something more eloquent behind those than than the names that have come up here. But again, thanks for being with us on the program. Yuri is going to be joining us in just a couple of minutes here. And a little bit about Yuri and who he is. He's a photographer. You can find him at best places, Instagram, and it is Dubai_photo concierge. Dubai_photo concierge. He is Ukrainian, and he's got a lot of friends who are still in Ukraine. And he's having conversations with them. So when he does join us, then we'll have an opportunity to get the latest from him and find out what he's hearing when he comes on the ground. So let's see. What is his? I don't think he's joined the program as of yet. Suggestions for things that we should buy would also be nice. I don't know that we can necessarily earmark your dollars. If you say, I'm going to send $7, I'd like this to go to mittens, for kids. I guess we can try, but this is not like a Secret Santa program where, somebody's going to be going out with the money and this giant shopping list go, damn it, we got to find Susie a Barbie. It's not that kind of situation here. We'll probably allow the folks that are there to make the ultimate choices when it comes to what they're going to go out and buy. So what is the news that is troubling you the most? Is there something in particular that you'd like to talk about today? I mentioned the Tucker Carlson situation where what just an absolute asshat he is, where he's still being a Putin apologist. And when I put out the notification on social media that I was doing this program and wanted to invite friends to give money and to join the program if they wanted, I said, don't give any of your comments that rah Putin. He's a great guy. He's misunderstood. He just needs a hug. His mom didn't love him enough. Somebody stepped on his puppy when he was 3 years old, and that obviously put him on a path to the asshattery that he is right now. I don't need to hear any of that kind of stuff. Okay. Pegkin, thank you. Robert, Alice, Lucas, thanks for being here today. Koriesu, Beverly, you've all joined the program, and I do want to thank you for being there. If you came to see Greg, I apologize. He's a much better looking dude than I am. But you got me, and I certainly have a face for radio, so thanks for putting up with me. I'll be doing the show today, and then I'll be doing it again on Thursday while Greg gets his hiney over there to Poland and gets set up and situated and starts to make his network connections. I mentioned the radio station thing. If you've got a relationship or somebody at a radio station in your local community, one of the things that Greg is going to be doing is radio interviews all across the country and all across the world. So shoot us a note in the messages there that if you know of a radio station that would probably or could be interested in talking to Greg about what it is that we're trying to accomplish. Lynn Marg writes, the fact that we don't realize that unless we stop the Russians in Ukraine, Putin will just do this again. And we see the signs that's coming, a lot sooner. And if you read the conspiracy theories, of course, this is all machination and we are allowing Putin to do this because this is all part of a giant conspiracy to make the world a different place. Well, he's already done it. He's already made the world a completely different place. And I can't see that he's happy with how this has turned out. We've decided that we're tired of it. And as fast as I've seen any group of people get together and make a decision, not just a small decision, a big decision to put forth sanctions, they have certainly done it. Linab or INAB in 1948, thanks for joining the program. Maggie Fitt, thanks again for being there and joining the program. Leonard, if you want to talk about that, you're more than welcome. I can invite you on the program and just click a little button. And if you are so inclined to join us, you're more than welcome to do that. That's one of the beauties about Beamz and Beamz Live and the interactivity of it. It's not just the chat deal. Sort of like a radio talk show. And when I was talking to Greg about doing this, and he asked me to fill in for him, it's like the old days. Well, okay, I just go to line number 3. Bill, you're on. That sort of situation. So if you'd like to join the program to do that, again, please. Waiting for Yuri, and I'm not sure when Yuri is going to be joining. I just got a text from a friend of mine, Andre, who is Ukrainian. And when the Soviet Union collapsed, he's an American, but his father, I believe, was directly from Ukraine. He started working with the family vodka distillery and started importing vodka. And he says, we are in touch, Scotty, with his family and friends. He says it's a nightmare over there. There's some level of protecting identities going on. I'm interested in talking to you on your project, but you need to keep people on the down low. So, Andre, we can keep it all anonymous. I get distracted by technology. I don't know if it ever happens to you. Oh, look, a squirrel. Oh, there's a puppy video. Do you think sending puppy videos to Putin would help him out? Or is he just too far gone of a monster? Of course, I'm being facetious. We need to bring this guy down. We need to stop Putin now. And maybe we can't stop him with what you and I are doing, but we can make life a little bit better, maybe even a lot better for the people who are going through this right now. And I'm not good with the Russian language or the Ukrainian language and pronunciations. I mean, for years it was Kiev, right? Now we all probably are saying Kiev, right? Because that's how we're hearing it pronounced to us. And Bucha, I haven't watched anything about it. I get all my news and information generally by reading, so I don't get the pronunciations for me. But the atrocities that are coming out of there, it's like we're building up the bad photo album for the look back. You know how you look at the coffee table books about Vietnam or Afghanistan, or you pick the war, and just how ugly things are. We're building up the content for that, sadly and unfortunately, and it's happening every single day. Mankalwuk. I don't know how you pronounce that. Thanks for joining the show. Again, the donation button in the corner, it's the one that has the little dollar sign on it. Stella, thanks for joining us. It's got the dollar sign, or it might say pay host. With the Beamz programs as a whole, we do these for nothing. And then if you really, really enjoy the show, then you tip the host. We're not getting paid for this. All the money that we're raising on this program and the other one that Greg Stedman does, which is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, all the money goes directly to either the military or, in this case, for this program, aid to make the lives of Ukrainians better. Glenn Brand, thanks for paying for the show. I mean, every single little teeny tiny bit helps. I mean, think about times where you were in a rough situation and you had to make a decision. Am I gonna eat? Am I gonna put gas in the tank of my car? I'm gonna pay for the heat, make sure my kids can get to school. Multiply that horrible, crappy, I don't know what the hell to do feeling by a couple 100,000. Enab, Carol Ann, Linmarg, Zzumpf, thanks for joining the show. Carol Ann, thanks for paying. Linmarg, thank you for paying. Enab 1948, thank you for your donation. It's going to help. It truly is going to help. I wish there was a way, Maggie Fit, thanks very much. I wish there was a way that we could close the loop and know said and done. And there might be a way that we can do that. When Greg gets on the ground in Poland, we might be able to figure out a way to put out feelers so that that we can report back to you and share some of the good stories of a little bit of relief, some thankfulness. A family that's just going, Oh, dear God, thank you. There's a can of chicken soup. Uh, you made the day that much better. So, tell your friends about this. Share the link to Beams Live, and let folks know that this is going on, and that we're really desperately doing whatever we can to make a difference. And there's so many times in the world you see a horrible situation going on, and you're like, "There's nothing I can do, so I'm just going to sit back and watch." Well, in this particular case, there is something you can do. It's a very, very small thing. Again, if you click on that donation button, the one with a dollar or the one that says pay host, you can choose your amount. $2, $5. Average person on Beams just goes and clicks that $7 one. But if you want to do $1,000, you're not going to hear any complaints from me. So don't be shy. Okay. Um, and again, if you want to join in the program, all you need to do is down in the bottom corner is say, "Hey, Scott, I want to talk to you." Be two exclamation points. I respond exclamation points. It's because I have kids who taught me that when you text or you communicate in the world nowadays, you can't use a period because that's rude. Okay, so I'm sure Putin never uses an exclamation point. All he uses is periods because he's one of those assholes. You know what I'm saying? Greg, oh, you want to talk to me? No, I wrote that. Hey, Scott, I want to talk to you. So I'm talking to myself, which is essentially what I'm doing as I sit here in my room. Um, because I'm in Florida. I'm sitting on a farm in Florida, and Greg is probably on a plane or getting on a plane right now to head to New York to then get ready to go to Poland. And as I mentioned, he's going to be on the ground talking to folks. There's already a network of folks who are ready for him to go and start seeing what the real deal is. And I'm really looking forward to how that's not going to be just sitting here yapping and saying, "Here's what's going on, and here's how you can help." Beverly, thank you so much. Larry, thank you very, very much. You guys are awesome today. Slew Smith, thanks for joining the program. Um, it's really encouraging. And when Greg had talked about this, and I watched the first couple of shows, and I saw people joining in, and I saw people pushing that button and making the donations. I was like, yeah, this is really cool. It may not be much, but again, every teeny tiny little bit helps. Cat, 14 years. Thank you for joining the program. I know that Lucas, who is one of the producers of the program, is listening, making sure that everything in the background is technically working out okay. Lucas, if you know anything about Yuri and where he's at and whether or not he's going to join the program so that we can talk to him, that would be awesome because I would love to talk to him. Or if you've got a suggestion for a guest, maybe you know somebody in Ukraine and you've got stories about friends or family members or people who are there or people who have left. The refugee situation is astounding to say the least. I mentioned the radio station in Prague that is going to be broadcasting specifically for the Ukraine community in the Czech Republic. There's 300,000 already. I think President Biden just announced that they were going to up the number of refugees that the United States would take. And I know that countries all across Europe are opening their arms, opening the gates, opening the doors, and opening their hearts. This is a lot of people, and this is happening fast. And primarily it's women and children. And that's horribly sad, but encouraging that at least the family members that are staying behind in Ukraine are doing what they can do and doing what they want to do to make sure that their women and their children are okay. Slew Smith says, "Hi, I'm Sue in Orange County, California. I missed hearing your name, please." I'm sorry about that. My name is Scott Fitzgerald, and I'm nobody. I was on the radio for 35 years, and now I produce podcasts for folks and shovel horse shit on a horse farm in Florida, and love every minute of it. But I'm a friend of Greg's, and I've done things together and worked together. We didn't miss anything, so please, will you fill in for me? I said, "Oh, you sure?" You know what you're getting with me. I'm dumber than paint, face for radio, but I'll do the best that I can. So Lucas just sent a note and said that our guest Yuri is going to be joining us in just a couple of minutes. Sue from Orange County, thanks for being here. You said, "It's my pleasure." No, the thank you is for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time, for turning your brain to something in the world that needs attention. We do need to pay attention to what's going on. And you just giving us this short amount of your life, it means a lot. And a couple of bucks, that would mean a lot too. You don't have to. Good thoughts, send them out there. They're not going to feed anybody, but they're certainly appreciated. And I know there's this movement out there. And there's a comedian, who was it? Anthony Jeselnik had a comedy, and it was called Thoughts and Prayers. It's like, when something bad happens, people get on social media and think, "Oh, my thoughts and prayers with Ukraine." And that just screams, "Look at me, look at me, look at me." Okay, you can think of it that way because you're a jaded son of a bitch, but everything helps. Am I going to be doing podcasts? Anna G writes about this. About what? About this? That could certainly be an offshoot. There's going to be, Greg is already going to be doing 5 shows this, every week. So there's one Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Tuesday and Thursday are the Stop Putin. The other one is Let's Build a Bomb. That was the original idea. When folks got together, they said, "How can we use Beamz to help the folks in Ukraine? What can we do?" They were shocked to find that missiles to kill, the tank killing missiles only cost about $20,000. Like, we can raise that kind of money. Yeah. So let's use Beam. Let's use the power of interactive TV to get the word out, get the message out, tell some stories, and then have folks hit that money button there. And once again, doesn't go to the hosts. I'm not getting paid for this. Greg is not getting paid for this. Everything will be distributed accordingly. Sue says, "Curious if anyone is encountering people who do not listen to the news because it is just too upsetting." I know that there are people who don't talk about it at all, don't talk about the war at all. And I run into them every single day. I'm trying to think back over the past month, doing what I do on the farm in this horse world, going to get hay, going to get feed, picking up a new pitchfork because, the kids broke one, the horse stepped on one. I have not had a single person encounter, chance encounter on the street, have anybody say, "Hey, what do you think about Ukraine?" Sue, or ignore your comments when you talk about it. It's so frustrating. And Lynn says, "Yeah, there's a lot of folks that don't watch the news." Glenn says, "A lot of folks, yes, because it's too upsetting." I can understand that. There's a lot of bad crap that happens in the world. It's like, I don't watch horror movies. There's enough creepy shit going on inside of my brain. I don't need to add any images to it. I already have a hard enough time sleeping. The boogeymen come out at me at night, and I got to keep my feet under the covers because I'm afraid. So I don't need it anymore. And when I stopped doing talk radio, I kind of just checked out, stopped watching the news just because it was too frustrating, too infuriating. So I didn't do it. Lots of folks don't realize this impacts all of us. That's very, very true. And I think there's an ignorance, a naivete, denial, perhaps, that the results of this have anything to do with us. Let's see, there we go. Now I'm going to invite Yuri and see if I can get this right. I just clicked on you, Yuri, so you should be able to hit just a couple of buttons, and pretty soon you'll be able to be with us here on the program. Sue says, "Exactly. People just complain about gas prices, which in California are $6 a gallon." That's human nature. What's the thing that's pissing you off the most that's right in front of your face? Never certainly do that. And there are people who actually deny that this is going on. Yeah, there's people who have their head right up their ass. Yuri, is that you?
Yes, it's me. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Glad that you're here with us here today. Thank you so
Previous
much.
time I couldn't connect.
Yeah, I know you guys tried before, and things got a little sideways, but we figured it out. Know about or anything you want to cover, embarrassed? Looking behind you there.
Well, Pictures behind
Yeah, up on the wall there. Any naked
this?
pictures up there?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, just making sure. Now, now you're a photographer. Tell me a little bit about your world. Growing up as a Ukrainian, where did your photography begin, and where did it take you?
Yeah, so basically it started like more than 10 years ago, I believe so. Back in Ukraine, I just finished some courses and I was doing it just basically only for myself. And then after a while, I just started picking up some clients one by one. And then later on, I decided why not to switch to the photography completely, because my background came from the hospitality originally. And only like after a while, I decided to switch completely for my own business.
To become a full-time photographer.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And now you're based in Dubai, is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. So after a while, I decided to take a step up because obviously back in Ukraine, it's a lot of stuff going on, but I was striving for some international experience. So I decided to move.
Gotcha. Okay. What are you hearing from your friends back in Ukraine? What are the horror stories? And then I'd like you to dig a little bit deep and give us some hope too. Something that some of the beautiful stories that are coming out of Ukraine.
Yeah, well, you see, it's not only my friends, it's as well my parents, it's as well my brother. So the whole family is there. So a lot of horrible stories, and as well my parents were supposed to flee because I'm basically from Kharkiv. So as you know, this is a city which was struggling one of the most. Obviously, like Mariupol, yeah, of course, but Kharkiv as well one of the toughest areas, and as well from one of the toughest districts in Kharkiv, which was struggling from all the bombings. So my parents were supposed to flee to another, like to the western part of Ukraine, and right now they're staying right there. And it was a horrible way because they spent 7 days for the trip, which was supposed to take 1 day in a normal case. So no fuel, no place to stay. They were sleeping on some cold floors because everything was overbooked. Like all the hotels were overbooked, all
Hmm.
the like B&B as well, fully booked. So 7 days, no fuel, no proper food, no accommodation. And as well, my friends who are supposed to flee as well, they experienced the same circumstances of leaving the city. And as well, some of my friends, they stayed there and they became volunteers, which I'm completely proud of. So in a case, if anyone is wondering about the volunteers in Kharkiv, I have some friends, so anyone feel free to get in touch with me so I can share their contacts. In a case, maybe if someone needs some help or if someone would like to give some help to Ukraine, to Kharkiv.
Now, as your family was doing the fleeing, and you said instead of being a one-day trip, it took it to about 7 days. Were they
Yeah.
were they left alone, or were they being harassed by the Russian military on their way to their escaping?
Well, fortunately, in my city, there was some way which was more or less safe. Some bombings were still going on. So when they were passing by one of the districts, it was completely ruined. So on the way from the city, they were passing by some districts which were bombed like 1 or 2 days before, and it was completely trashed. So
Mhm.
my mother was crying, of course. She saw what is going on. She couldn't believe that her city right now is in this condition. So that was truly horrible. And my friends, which are volunteers, they're going to some districts which are being bombed even nowadays, even right now. They're just going there, living and trying not to get into some trouble with the bombs. Even some districts right now, they are not allowed to enter if you don't have a special volunteer identity card.
Gotcha. Um, I'm going to guess that you talk to people from all over the world. And my question to you is, here in the United States, there seems to be a lot of support for Ukraine and for what they're doing. And, from a personal standpoint, people are mostly saying, yeah, I'm with the blue and the yellow here. But there's still some jerks that, they're like, no, no, this is not our deal. We shouldn't even think about this. This is on the other side of the world. And what's so bad about Russia? What about the people across the world that you're talking to? Any sort of that American sentiment, or does everything seem to be, yes, just like the show is called, we need to stop Putin. There is no ifs, ands, or buts.
Well, I have quite many followers, and obviously, as soon as everything started, they started texting me every day. I'm still having like hundreds of messages, which I couldn't even reply because it's tons of them, and many people were so story about what it was going on. So I'm trying to remember right now myself, back in the days when it was going on somewhere in Eastern countries, and I was quite ignorant, honestly speaking. Unfortunately, I need to accept this because, yeah, I knew that something is going on, but I didn't know particularly, I didn't know about exact cases, what is going on there. And right now, many people are the same. So I cannot blame them because you cannot really feel the pain of other people unless you went through it. So that's what's going on right now. Yeah, some people who are having friends from Ukraine, they care a lot. They're texting almost every day, trying to check how is it going on, how is the family. But many people, they just don't know and they don't care much. That's the problem, but that's understandable as well.
Yuri, are you, and again, for those of you just joining, Yuri is our guest here today. He's a photographer. He is Ukrainian. What do you have much of a relationship with other Ukrainian photographers? The reason I ask is news story came out of the AP. Maxim Levin or Maxim Levin, a Ukrainian photographer killed while covering the war. And earlier in the program, before you joined in, I just made the comment that being a photographer in a war zone is an incredibly dangerous position. Do you know any folks who are using their cameras and their eyes to keep track of what's going on?
Back in Ukraine, I have few friends who are photographers and videographers, but meanwhile they stopped what they were doing. So right now they're just trying to protect their families and they escape from the city which we are staying, which we're living in. So right now they're mostly not working as well. My father, he's a videographer. He's trying to take some interviews for our project, which we're doing right now here back in Dubai. And it's not that easy because for all the interviews, for everything else, you need to have a special permission, like a journalist pass. Otherwise, obviously, you're getting stopped. But we're trying to figure it out. So yeah, they're trying to do their job, but it's too dangerous to stay in these cities and just try to capture the moments like in Kharkiv or in Kiev. Right now, it's more or less fine, at least.
Gotcha. Yuri, we're out of time here today. If somebody wants to find you, Instagram is the best way to do that. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
How do they do that? What's your Instagram handle?
Well, it's quite difficult. I think you can find my profile here on feeling brave to try to find me out on Instagram by yourself. Try to remember this. It's Dubai_photo concierge. So it's two words, but they're going together.
Dubai_photo concierge. Okay. And we'll have the links all here on Beamz too. And Yuri, Sue just asked, what is your last name? Are you revealing that?
Yes. My last name is Nedodaiev.
Nedodaiev?
Complicated. Nedodaiev, yeah. Yaroslav Nedodaiev.
Okay. How do you say in Ukrainian, thank you very much?
Дякую, дуже дякую.
Yeah, what you said. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Very simple. Дуже.
Doja?
Дякую.
Dagwa.
Дякую.
I'll get it next time. I promise you, I'll get it next time. Yuri, thanks for your time very much. There's a hang up button in the top right corner for you.
Yes.
Alice, thanks for posting in the notes there. Dubai_photo concierge. Thank you so much. Yuri, thank you for your time. Thank you everybody for being here today. We're going to do it again on Thursday at 11:30. So tell your friends. Thank you for your donations. They are greatly appreciated, and I appreciate your time very much. Again, my name is Scott Fitzgerald, sitting in for Greg Stebbin. He is on his way to Poland, so next week it will go back to what it was before. So thank you for bearing with me again. I appreciate it very much. Now, go take good care of yourself and each other.